Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's first video, doing JMA Friday for today's first video. So as always on a Friday, we're having a look at the weather for the month ahead with the Japanese and CFS V2 models. And I shall get on with that for you very shortly. Going to take us into the middle of January. More about that in a mo. Just to say that the second video coming up today will be our 10 to 14 day with all of the breaking features. We've got the 21st Christmas update being released early this evening. That's going to be an interesting watch, I would have thought, around 7ish. When after 10, we shall be live streaming the GFS 18Z, aka the pub run. So I shall see you live for that, and we'll see what the GFS 18Z is showing, going through to the Christmas period. Right, Ben. So, just say the 7 AM forecast. That was not, I was not able to do that last night because the high-res UKV model did not update yesterday. So that's the reason that the 7 AM forecast wasn't released at 7 AM this morning. I'm sure you all noticed that it was sort of missing. Hopefully, it'll all be back to normal. Tomorrow we'll be able to bring you the UK weather forecast as normal tomorrow morning. But, we're relying on sort of model data, and if the models don't update, then obviously that does complicate the issue. So that's what happened there. Hopefully, everything will be back to normal tomorrow. Right, so starting off with the JMA 500 millibar height only from the Arctic and North Pole view down. For week 1. So these are broken down into week periods, and the first week period will take us from the 17th to 24th of December, Christmas week. This is the North Pole just here, wider Arctic circles around there, and then mid-latitudes are through here. Yellow, orange, and red extrapolate to above average heights, which is high pressure, blue to below average heights, which is low pressure. You can see within week ahead, but JMA is forecasting above average heights. High pressure will be dominant over and to the north. Catching around that high pressure, we should be bringing in the wind from an easterly direction. So it looks cold in the week ahead, albeit relatively dry over that area of high pressure. Now, week 2 is going to take us through Christmas week. It looks very, very interesting. This is the 24th of December, Christmas Eve, through to the 31st, New Year's Eve. So, over Christmas week, we keep the above average heights going, but we lift them further northwards, proper northern blocking with that. Below average heights to our south and east, and in between, we bring in the wind from that cold easterly direction. So, yes, the JMA looks really cold and wintry, potentially, over Christmas week. There have been quite a few years since we've seen that, anything like that over Christmas, but there we go. JMA is going for a cold, blocked Christmas week. And then we go through to week 3 and 4, which will take us from New Year's Eve to the 14th of January, into the middle of January. And look at this, very, very interesting, with the blocking continuing around Greenland and Iceland. Looks properly locked in, that doesn't it, with below average heights to our south. And you would have thought we continue to bring in the wind from either an east or like a northeasterly direction. The upshot is we could be in for a prolonged cold spell here, if the JMA has got this right. Prolonged cold spell is possible up to the middle of January from, now Christmas onwards, right way through to the middle of January. Wow, wow, wow. Let's have a look at the tropical mid-latitude view to confirm that then. So this is the 500 millibar height only for week 1. Now, we can't see the Arctic and North Pole on this view. That's off the chart. So Greenland, Arctic, North Pole, Iceland, Scandinavia, that's all up here. But we've had all that view down so we know what's going on. The British Isles in the top right-hand corner of the chart as we're looking at it, of course. So the coming week has the above average heights. This takes us from today, 17th through to Christmas Eve. Has the above average heights over, but also to the north of the country. Around that, we should be bringing in the wind from an increasingly cold easterly direction. So the temperature anomaly is colder than average in the week ahead. Below average temperatures coming up there with the JMA. Most parts of Europe looking quite cold as well. North America looks very mild, you'll notice. And precipitation-wise, we're drier than average in the weekend as well. So cold and dry. But as it gets colder towards Christmas, any precipitation that does fall may well be falling as snow. Right, we get through to week 2, which will be the 24th to the 31st of December, Christmas Eve to New Year's Eve. You can just make out the northern blocking. It's gone further northwards, that high pressure. It has become a proper northern blocking feature there over Christmas. So lots of high pressure within the northern latitudes. Low pressure is to the south. We come over here, we've got plenty of low pressure there as well, and winds remain from a cold easterly direction or northeasterly. So the temperature anomaly in week 2 is also colder than average, below average over Christmas. Been a long time, as I say, since we've seen this. Most of Europe is looking really cold as well. North America looks very mild. So for anybody who thinks it's always cold in America, mild here, this proves that is not the case. If the JMA has got this right, then most of America will be mild, and it will be Europe. And, Europe and Western Europe, Northern Europe, that is getting all of the cold weather over Christmas. And then weeks 3 and 4 will be the 31st of December, New Year's Eve, to the 14th of January. Again, just about make out the northern blocking at the very sort of top of the chart there with those yellow and orange colours. Lots of high pressure again sitting within the northern latitudes. Low pressure is to the south. It looks like the jet stream will be going down there as well. Winds coming in from that cold easterly or northeasterly direction. So temperature anomalies remain cold through the first half of January. These are quite remarkable charts, I have to say. It might be that JMA has gone off on a tangent here, but these are very, very remarkable charts. Prolonged cold spell lasting for 4 weeks at least. Very significantly below average temperatures, not just the UK, but through most parts of Western Europe. On the temperature scale, we look like we're going down to around 3 to 4 degrees below average there through much of Western Europe, which is very significantly below normal. So this is a prolonged and really quite, hard cold spell that is setting up here and lasting for several weeks. If we go back to this anomaly, I mean, this is a 2-weekly anomaly that we see here. So normally the 2-week anomaly is a little bit weaker, because you'll get variation within the fortnight, if you see what I mean. And as it's week 3 and 4, it's further away as well. So this is a very, very strong anomaly for a 2-weekly anomaly and weeks 3 and 4. So the JMA has good confidence that is coming off, through the first half of January. This could be our coldest first half to January for many, many years if the JMA is right. It could be wrong, just because it's got a strong signal doesn't mean it's a correct signal. So it could be going over the top. But anyway, that's what it's showing. Let's see how the CFS V2 compares. So these, again, 500 millibar heights break it down into weekly periods. The first week period will take us from the 17th to the 23rd of December. The coming week has a high pressure sitting over and to the north of the country. And again, within that, we're pulling in colder air from the east. So perfect agreement, really, between the JMA and the CFS of week 1. Week 2 is the 24th of December, Christmas Eve to the 30th, with northern blocking sitting to our north, below average heights to our south. Winds presumably are in from the east, so it looks cold, and with below pressure to our south, dare I say it, rather wintry perhaps, particularly for more southern areas. Week 3 is going to be the 31st of December to the 6th of January, with the high pressure to our north and northwest. The low pressure is to our south. Winds continue to be coming in from an easterly direction. That looks like it's more or less in agreement with the JMA as well. Maybe a slight difference for week 4, which is the 7th to the 13th of January. The high pressure just going a little bit further southwards then. Lower pressure up here, and we might be starting to get a bit more influence from off the Atlantic then. So by week 4, maybe going a little bit milder or slightly less cold. So temperature anomalies for week 1, 17th, 23rd of December, are still a little bit above average, actually, but the mild weather is fading out. Mild weather is fading out. So we go through to week 2, and that is colder than average over Christmas, below average temperature, not just the UK, but through most parts of Europe as well. Week 3, which is the 31st of December, 6th of January, that one is also colder than average. Most parts of Europe again looking cold, most parts of America looking mild. So the JMA is broadly in agreement with CFS with all of this up to week 3. By week 4, maybe just a little bit less cold then, 7th to 13th of January, just perhaps getting a little bit less cold as the wind starts to move in from off the Atlantic slightly. But even then, go to our east, and we see most parts of the continent are looking colder than normal. Precipitation-wise, very dry in the week ahead, 17th, 23rd of December. That's coming out drier than normal. Week 2, Christmas week, Christmas Eve to the 30th of December, has near normal precipitation, which obviously is a little bit more unsettled than week 1. So that gives a prospect with cold temperatures that there could be some snow around. Week 3 goes drier again. This is the 31st December, New Year's Eve, 6th of January. Drier there for week 3. And then week 4 looks like it's getting a little bit more westerly. 7th to the 30th of January, a little bit drier to our southwest and wetter to our northwest. But that's 4 weeks away. Model's always going to try and re-establish zonality. It will always try and get back to the default. All of the models, you know, tend to do that. And being 4 weeks away, I think we just say, but, you know, that might verify or it might not. So, wow, what an update from the JMA particular today. Also, the CFS is quite interesting, you know, as well. But the JMA particular is going for a really prolonged cold spell there with locked-in northern blocking lasting for like several weeks. Well, into January. So, who would have thought that? Well, we did predict in the winter forecast, of course. But just because we predict it doesn't mean it'll come off. And just because JMA has a strong signal for that, you know, doesn't mean that it's going to verify either. So it's just a snapshot of what these models are showing today, but they could look very different next week. Any forecast beyond 5-7 days comes with lots of health warnings attached. But quite an exciting JMA Friday today. We will be back shortly with your 10 to 14 day. That's going to include all of the regular features. And then we've got our latest Christmas update coming up for you at around 7ish this evening. So for JMA Friday this week, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.